Today, I'm killing the Ender Dragon. In the original hardcore Minecraft, I spawned on a shore in a forest, and immediately bashed a tree down. You know the drill. First thing I crafted was a wooden sword, to have an easier time performing mass genocide on pigs. Just 2 for now. The rest was smart enough to not spawn right next to me. Then I crafted a pickaxe to mine some stone, and retire my wooden tools forever. I don't think wooden tools get enough respect amongst the Minecraft community. The majority of them never sees the light of day, and the ones that do, live very short lives. I murdered some more pigs with my new shiny stone sword, before having my very first encounter with a creeper. I went to investigate the cave it most likely spawned in, and immediately found iron. Not long after, I also found coal, so now I can actually see in a cave. Spent the rest of the day mining, and decided to settle down because I had no bed or home. Food works a lot differently in original Minecraft than it does now, and after just one day, I was already pretty hungry, even though I didn't sprint at all. So I kicked my steaks in iron, and immediately crafted an iron pickaxe and sword. I found enough iron to even make a full set of armor, so I think we're ready to mine. I encountered a couple of caves on my way down, but dug all the way to bedrock, cause I'm only looking for diamonds. If you're wondering, I don't use my iron pickaxe to dig through the stone, but rather craft mini stone pickaxes, and only use the iron pickaxe to mine ores which require it. I've been doing it like this forever, and still do it today, even though Deep Slate is harder and takes longer to break. So it was surprisingly satisfying for me to slice forward so quickly. I decided to move my bench all the way down, as it was quicker and more practical than climbing all the way up all the time. I came across a cave while mining, went to explore it, and found a zombie spawner. I completely forgot about it, and never came back afterwards. Probably because the most valuable thing I got from those chests was a bucket. Mined a little further, and I found a batch of 5 diamonds. Just enough for a pickaxe and an enchanting table. Don't need nothing else. Not too far away, I found a lava pool, so I had to go outside for some water. While doing that, I lighted up a tower above the entrance to my base to make sure I always find it and never get lost. Obsidian is the hardest block in Minecraft, and it always was. It takes 8 seconds to mine with a diamond pickaxe, and over 4 minutes to break with a bare fist. Imagine what we're breaking 1,000 of them like that be. I got 14 for a portal and an enchanted table, and realized you don't need lapis to enchant stuff. So, what's it used for then? Oh yeah, right. Blue... Nope, not even blue dye. You don't see what enchant you're getting either. So I tried to enchant some iron swords to get ready for killing blazes. And I got Bane of Arthropods. Twice. Right after setting foot into the nether, I got violently attacked by 2 ghasts. I ran the opposite way, looking for a fortress, and decided to walk in a straight line so I can't get lost. I went for some time, and dug through several hills, just to reach an impenetrable lava lake, and walk back. As I was returning to my portal, I saw the end of a nether fortress, right behind it. Those ghasts definitely knew what they were doing. I encountered just 1 rogue blaze, before finding a spawner. I found 10 rods to be enough surplus, so I stopped the mass treason, and made my way back to the portal, where the ghasts were trying their best to not let me back home. I succeeded anyway. When I came back, I realized I didn't have enough food anymore, and there weren't too many animals in my forest. So I decided to explore land across the water, and it was a tundra with so many animals, I couldn't have murdered them all if I wanted to. First I killed an entire herd of cows, and then I found my very first sheep. I wanted to kill them all, but they didn't drop any meat, which spared the rest. But at least I can sleep now. After that, I found the seemingly infinite source of pigs. So I got that many pork chops, how much I thought was enough, and went to sleep for the very first time. When I got home, I put my steaks to cook, and started a deforestation around the entrance. I soon needed to get ender pearls for Eyes of Ender, and wanted to make space for endermen to spawn around me. I knew collecting them one by one would be a huge pain, so I attempted on getting a looting sword many times, to a point where I convinced myself looting was added in a later version of Minecraft without any research whatsoever. I guess looting is just a higher tier enchant, which you need bookshelves for, but I was too lazy to grow sugarcane, and lying to myself was an easier option at the moment. I built myself up on my tower, and started waiting for endermen to spawn. After spending nearly 4 hours to obtain 3 ender pearls, I decided to go find an end portal with 3 eyes of ender, and hope by some miracle that would be enough. So I armed myself with the best I had and started the journey. One of my 3 eyes broke on the way, and it turned out the stronghold was underwater. I was close to death many times trying to dig down there, except the time I got stuck in a cobweb. I found the portal in no time, and found out I need 12 eyes of ender to light up the portal. So I placed the 2 I had, and had to head back home unsuccessful. But at least now I knew where the stronghold is, and that I had to get exactly 10 more ender pearls in order to be left to fight the ender dragon. So I came back to my base, sat back up on my tower, and awaited the arrival of more endermen. Some nights, I was just waiting if one decides to say the diligence to spawn, and other nights, I was trying to rapidly decrease the concentration of mobs to make more space for an enderman to spawn, but regardless of what I did, they were still spawning very sparsely, and I often considered sending a written request to them. The worst part about gathering the ender pearls though, was that even if an enderman spawned, I noticed him. He didn't randomly disappear while teleporting to me, and I killed him. He would only drop a pearl 50% of the time. It took me 8.5 hours to get 10 ender pearls. By the end of it, my entrance was a barren wasteland with dozens of critters, often from more than one creeper explosion. Like, even the mobs themselves were getting stuck far before I got all the ender pearls. But I did it, and now I can go fight the ender dragon. So let's go. First, I wanted to make sure I had enough food to make it throughout the entire journey. So I visited the neighboring island again to get my hands on some juicy pork. I made sure to take my brand new fully enchanted iron armor that I made specially for the dragon fight with me. Over 2 stacks of arrows I gathered from all the skeletons I murdered, and 3 new enchanted iron swords. I hope that's enough. I also took 2 stacks of snowballs, which I didn't really expect much from, but just wanted to try how effective they would be. And just before I took off to face the final boss of Minecraft, I buried the chest with my diamond pickaxe somewhere near my base. And the first one to download this world and find it, I will personally come congratulate you to your house. The chance of this happening is like -3 because this video is bound to get 0 views, so hopefully this will be left unfazed. Of course, I already knew where the stronghold is, so getting there was no problem. So I activated the portal, checked if I hadn't forgotten anything, took one last breath, and jumped in. I had a slight problem with the spawn, because no matter where I dug, it seemed like there was no way out for a couple of minutes. But of course, eventually I found it, and started blowing up the crystals right away. If you're wondering why I recorded this part in 144p, I didn't. That's just how the end looks like in 1.0 Minecraft. Before the battle, I thought accidentally daring enderman for fights would be a genuine problem, but in reality, I accidentally looked at one in the beginning, and that was quite it. I had arrows for days, and so I took my time shooting down the crystals, even if I was missing over and over, rather than building up, getting pushed down, and ending up dead. When I got rid of all the crystals, I built myself up a few blocks, and started shooting the dragon from a distance. It always tried to charge me, but it instead gave me a few shots, and then flew away. By the time I ran out of arrows and snowballs, it was weaker than YouTuber apology videos, and finishing it with my sword wasn't a big problem. This was the first time I ever defeated the Ender Dragon in survival or hardcore Minecraft, and I feel like it was nice starting at the origins. Everything you might want to find, including the world download link, is in the video description, and if you don't forget me by then, I'll be glad to see you next time.